that takes us to our 7-round mock draft. All right.
This is where the fun begins, bro.
This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. So we've made some moves. We've made some moves, and I'm actually going to show you, or I'll show our viewers what those moves are down at the bottom here, so you can follow along with us as we're going through this mock draft. We have the 26th overall pick. Any desire to move up here, fellas? But before we get started, before we jump in, any scenario where you believe Dallas should be moving up?
I mean, somebody crazy falls, and you got a chance to get them, but I mean, at the current moment, nah, just let it come to you, man. Play it out.
Who's those players we're targeting on the move up? Who's someone crazy if they drop? We jumping on. I know the top 3 needs is what? Running back, linebacker, cornerback. Maybe one of those top tier corners, Joey Porter, Christian Gonzalez. I don't think they're going to drop, but
I don't think they're going to drop either. But if those guys, if a Witherspoon
in the teens,
Gonzalez, Porter find themselves, at 15, 16, then perhaps, perhaps. But I think this team needs to personally, I think this team needs to leverage the volume of draft selections. A trade down a few spots here to me isn't even out of the question. So. Let's see how it ultimately works out.
Baltimore style, baby. Let's go.
All right. Jalen Carter, CJ Stroud, Gonzalez went 3rd overall. Bryce Young, Murphy, Anderson. Anderson fell to the Lions. Wow. Witherspoon to the Falcons. Doesn't look like we're going to get our corner. Skaronski.
They got a good run.
Branch.
Early
Richardson. Run. Ringo. Hold on. Let's pause it here at the 20th overall pick. Let's pause it. We talked about the cornerback position. Those top guys are gone. We certainly like Cam Smith, Clark Phillips, Emmanuel Forbes. Deonte Banks has a hive, certainly. So definitely some good options here, assuming we go the cornerback route. But those top 3 players, Spoon, Gonzalez, Joey Porter, they are not available. All right, so.
What y'all thinking about Bijan Robinson? I know the Cowboys last time they drafted the 1st-round running back. There's a lot of debate about that.
This one's different, 1 and 2. Jerry's not running the show, bro. Not that I don't know if he was running the show back then when they drafted Zeke, but I'm pretty sure he was standing on the table dancing. But don't do it. There's too many good running backs.
Yeah.
You fighting against it, bro? Look at you, man.
Yeah. Bijan's a weapon, bro.
Hey, he is both in the pass game and the run game.
Bijan is a weapon. Bijan is absolutely a weapon. But we have to do our due diligence here as far as who's available at this point. So we talked about the cornerback position. We have Cam Smith, Clark Phillips, Emmanuel Forbes. Those are the top 3 corners. The linebacking core, Trent Simpson and Drew Sanders is available. We talked about that. We did do the 2-year extension on Van Der Esch, but Damon Clark is a guy that we kind of like. Micah Parsons, he moonlights at linebacker, but he's more of a pass rusher for the purposes of this particular team. So certainly could go linebacker here. I think they could certainly stand to improve the interior of the defensive line. I'm not sure I would go with any of these players just yet. We talked about receiver. Right? Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. They need to add a 3rd to that group. I think they need a playmaker, guy who can get open very quickly. One of those shiftier guys. Josh Downs certainly fits the bill. But based on who's on the board here, of course, you've already indicated that, there's clearly a need at running back. Bijan Robinson, one of the best prospects we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, right? Based on how this roster is formulated, situated, is it responsible to go Bijan Robinson? Of course, he's more than just a ball carrier. He can make plays out of the backfield in the passing game. What do we do here?
I'm of the mind we go and get one of these linebackers, bro. I don't think you can do the running back position. I think and I know corners there, but you did get Oliver.
You don't think you can do it? Why?
For Bijan?
Yeah. Why not the running back position?
Because there's Jamar Gibbs there and others.
Jameer's not going to be there next time we pick.
Yeah, he's not going to be there.
But what I'm saying is the running back class is deep, bro. It's
Okay.
deep.
That's what I'm trying to pull out of you. That's what I'm trying to pull out of you. Is
click the running backs. Click the running backs, bro. Just let me take
the running back position.
You get a good running back on day 3 in this draft.
You really can.
6th round, yeah.
You really can. Yeah, man. You scoop one of those guys in free agency, you be all right, man.
Yeah, we talked about it. Deontay Foreman, Samaje Perine, Jeff Wilson. Once that running back market kind of sets itself, we pair him up with a rookie.
Yep.
And then again with that post-June 1 cut of Ezekiel Elliott, who knows? We may bring Tony Pollard back into the fold. So I certainly understand not necessarily going for a running back. I just wanted to make sure that you articulated fully.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yes. Why we
need some understanding.
Bijan Robinson, even though there certainly is a pull. There's certainly a temptation there to go with Bijan Robinson. So who's it gonna be?
I like what Drew's thinking. I like the linebacker position. I think that needs to improve the run defense, also in pass coverage. Van Der Esch, he's coming down to bang. He's not really the athletic linebackers like a Drew Sanders or Trenton Simpson. Right now, is my linebacker 1. But Drew Sanders is also a beast. He's one of my favorite players in this entire draft class. So I don't think you should go wrong with either or, man.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
What you got, Drew?
Well, the thing is I think you could get real funny and cute with both of those guys in the defense. Then you throw in a Micah Parsons. We can get real. We can look real colorful out there on defense.
Legos,
bruh. Dan Quinn has shown his versatility in terms of it doesn't have to be the cover 3. We can get real cute and sexy and flashy and show you some things, man. Like we say, Legos. So either guy, if I had to pick a guy, I'm gonna go with Drew Sanders. But Trenton Simpson wasn't far off. They're very similar. But I prefer Drew Sanders.
I'm gonna go with Drew Sanders also, Drew, and I think it's because he's better in the run game than Trent Simpson. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna go with Drew Sanders also.
All right, Drew Sanders is the pick with the 26th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft to the Dallas Cowboys. And then, of course, we didn't mention it, but Drew Sanders offers a lot as far as blitzing. Where Trent Simpson does a great job green dogging, and I can appreciate that, understanding when to kind of fire the gun, pull the trigger. Drew Sanders is got legitimate pass rush moves. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think you go wrong with either of those players, and I think Drew Sanders is a great fit on that defense. And Van Der Esch has had injuries. He's had that neck issue that has kind of plagued him. So certainly good selection there in Drew Sanders. All right, we are on the clock here. 58th overall pick. Take a look at the cornerback position. You got Julius Brents, Caillou Blue Kelly, Eli Ricks. The running back position, A-Chain, that's Headley's guy. Charbonnet, Evans, Tucker, Tyjae Spears. Receiver, Cedric Tillman, Nathaniel Dell, Parker Washington. I'm thinking Dell Washington with our 90th overall pick potentially. Yes. I do want to add a receiver here. I do want to add some explosiveness, some run after the catch to pair with Lamb and Gallup. The tight end position, bro. I know we got Jay Ferguson, but you got some guys out here. Darnell Washington seems to be sliding, and then of course you got Tucker Kraft there. What's you guys' thought process?
Darnell Washington gonna be tempting. I have a feeling he won't. In reality, in the real world, he probably won't be there because he's probably gonna do some crazy stuff at the combine. But obviously, we haven't had that yet. I mean, I know they use them tight ends, and you did give up Schultz. You let him go. You could bring in a Washington. That would be crazy.
I'm kind of looking at Kalijah Cansey.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same
technique
from Pitt, and I also like go back to All Juice. I seen somebody else I liked. It was Cody Marsh. I like Cody Marsh. The versatility. Play 5 offensive line positions. Dallas, like you said, getting older with Tyron Smith out there. So I like Cody Marsh also, but I like Cansey and Marsh.
And I misspoke earlier. I said Terrence Steele. I meant Tyler Smith. You could kick in that scenario. You could kick him out. That would essentially seal the deal of moving on from Tyron Smith. Would it not?
Yeah, we don't have to force that issue though.
Okay.
Right.
Just talk through it.
No. I understand the thought process, but we don't have to force the issue here. right? Tyron Smith is fine. He's good to go. You know what I'm saying? He can play left tackle for us. Assuming Terrence Steele is back, and of course Terrence Steele is coming off the injury, so there's some insurance there with Tyron Smith. So I certainly can track with you in terms of Cody Mach, but you know I think Dallas has been hurting for that interior defensive line play. There's some young players, Odigizua. There's some guys that have come in. They tried the Tristan Hill thing that didn't work out. Odigizua I like, but I think if you add Cansey in there, you really bolster an already really good pass rush. But you're getting more from the interior here. I think Cansey he represents really good value in my opinion, and I think because we did the deal with Isaiah Oliver, we don't have to force the issue at corner either.
Yeah. I would agree. I like Cansey, prototypical 3 technique.
Yes,
has that explosive. The boy know how to get narrow and
Grady
thin.
Jarrett. He could be your Grady Jarrett here. You know what I mean? So Cansey is the pick with the 58th overall selection. All right.
We talked about going receiver next with I think we had, I'm not sure it was on the board, but you were talking Dell and there's a guy of mine, I like
Parker Washington.
Parker Washington. There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
there go Brent.
Yeah, so we're at the 76 pick, so we have another 14 picks or so off. But just taking a look at what the board has, anybody in particular sliding that we're compelled to go up and grab. Still got Jalen Duncan out there, Tyler Steen. You know, you talk about long term along that offensive line.
Right.
So
you got 1, 2, 3, you got 4 Senior Bowl guys in a row, was lined up.
Charbonnet, Tucker. You know, we do want to come away with the running back, but again, we can wait on that. So let's let it ride to the 90th overall pick. Yeah, play some Jeopardy music.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Y'all boys quiet tonight, man.
What is that?
I'm looking at the board. I'm looking at the board, see what's going on.
What is? Hit him with the answer.
Ooh, Jalen Duncan out there.
Some people might be, you know, questioning, you know, why the drop of Andre Carter? Why aren't we rushing up the board to get him? You know, we had an opportunity to see him live in Mobile at the Senior Bowl, and while I think he has a unique frame, he does not have the requisite play strength. He looked more like a day 3 guy. You know, he may be a day 2 guy simply because of what, you know, coaches might think he can grow into. But as far as what he is today, he looks like a day 3 player. So this team already has, they're pretty set at the edge as it is. You can always stand to add more pass rushers, but just as it pertains to Andre Carter, that would be my hesitation there. All right. So the receiver position, all our guys still here. Nathaniel Dell tore it up at the Senior Bowl. Obviously, I'll put up big numbers at Houston.
What about the corners? They go Rush.
Caillou Bukele, Darius Rush.
Yeah, I like Rush.
Evans.
Like you said, I know we brought in Isaiah Oliver, but what we saw from Rush at the Senior Bowl, sticky, in and out of breaks, feisty, winning those one-on-ones time after time. Rush is a heck of a player, man.
He was out there running routes for people.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't recall seeing a cornerback. I mean, again, I would have liked to see him get challenged vertically more. But I don't recall seeing a cornerback that dominant in one-on-ones. All right, so Heather, you're leaning Rush. What about you, Drew?
Leaning receiver, bro. Parker Washington.
So of these names, Parker Washington is the guy that you covet.
I mean, if we're talking about, I mean, Cedric Tillman, he could be a guy. But I think for what they already have, you know what?
I can go receivers. You got Tyler Scott later on. He's a speed threat, vertical guy.
Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
Jaden Reed, in and out of breaks. Trey Palmer, also another
Michael
good receiver.
Wilson.
Some of what Puka out there. All right, so we wait
Yeah,
on it. We
I
wait
think
on
I
it.
think it's one of those things on whether or not what you're looking for at the position, though. Drew
Right.
is hemming and hawing. He's hemming and hawing.
I want a
he's not
playmaker,
being
man.
very decisive.
I want a
He's
guy
not
with
being very
speed
decisive.
and a playmaker, man. Cedric
There you
Tillman,
go.
speed.
There you go. Get off the fence. Get off
Dell
the fence,
speed,
man.
Parker Washington speed. I'm just looking at the guy. All them guys got speed. All of them.
Yeah, it's. I think it's more than just speed, though, right?
Playmaker.
I think it's
I
about
think all three of those guys are
how
playmakers.
quickly you can create
Separation.
separation,
And
right?
I believe
short area quickness, that type of thing. I think they're missing
Dell in
that.
Washington. That's Dell in Washington.
Dell in Washington.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dell in Washington.
So Headley, you're thinking right here, Darius Rush, and then we come back to the receiver position. That's your thought process.
That's my my thought process. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see, Drew. See if you guy gets hooked. What pick got 129?
Yeah. Charbonnet, Spears,
Sleeping on Cedric Tillman.
Ooh, Dell gone. Dell gone.
Dell.
Caillou, Mims gone.
All right, so Tillman and Washington here at the top. We are at pick 107. Do you get aggressive to go get your guy, or do you feel good about the remaining options here at receiver?
I think I'm comfortable with still there because Jalen Reed's still down there, so I'm okay. We can let it run, bro.
What about you, Headley?
Yeah, I'm okay. Jalen Reed, Trey Palmer. I think they're both some good targets right there. Could get open quickly, both of those guys.
Okay. All right, let's do it. A couple of good players just came off the board here a little bit later than I anticipated. All right, and Hayes, Trey Dean, Williams from Tulane, Laporta, Wiley, Roshan Johnson, Incoom, Martin Broker, McIntosh. No thank you, Washington. Good Bucks.
Buffalo, bro.
It's not a bad offer.
That's not a bad offer.
This is a better offer.
It is a better offer.
What do you guys think? We drop down 5 spots. We add 2 more picks in this particular draft.
Oh, that makes me a little nervous, bro.
I have to do it. You want to secure your receiver?
Yeah, I want to get my guy, bro.
All right, let's do it then. Let's take a quick look around. Parker Washington's still there for you.
Yeah, man.
That's the guy, man. It worked out.
There it is.
That is my guy, bro.
Yeah, Parker Washington is a receiver, but he plays like a running back. Yards after the catch, gets open quickly.
I think that's what they need.
And he plays type of player. Special teams too.
That's the type of player that Dallas needs in their receiving room.
And I think it's a sure thing in terms of his hands. I don't think he'd be out there dropping passes like some guys we know. How do you feel about Kendre Miller in this offense, man?
Oh, love it.
I just like the player. I mean, he just came off the board, but
oh
yeah, it's a run on running backs.
Gray out of there.
It was a run on running backs. We're staying pat here with our picks. Chase Brown, Israel, Abanikanda. You know how I feel about Abanikanda.
Israel.
You know how I feel about that guy.
I like Israel. Yep.
I like him too.
He's a sleeper in this class.
Yes.
Let's see. Dylan Horton, KJ Henry, a couple players that we really like. Could use some depth along the offensive line. This is a guy that I want to target a little bit later in McClendon Curtis. Jackson Kirkland, Warren McClendon. Quite a few guys still out here, but Payne Durham's a guy I like. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time for Izzy.
Let's
do it,
man. Yeah, the speed he plays with, the burst, what he does in the open field, you just open up a small hole for him, and he's going to explode through it. I think he's just, like I said, he's just slept on this sleeper running back.
And I think he has the potential. Not that it's necessary, but I think he has the potential to be a bell cow. We know how rare that is in the league, but I think
young player. He's going to be 20. He's going to be 20, and there's some room for growth. But there's certain things, certain skill sets that he possesses that you can't teach. I think he would really thrive in an outside zone. So Just thinking overall, not just in terms of Dallas, but overall, a landing spot, ideal landing spot for him would be an outside zone. I think Izzy, assuming he does what I expect him to do at the combine, I don't see him getting out of the third
round.
Yeah. I don't see it.
He gonna open some eyes. People gonna go back and watch the game tape. Yeah.
All right, so we got a pair of Pittsburgh Panthers here. So Drew Sanders, Kalijah Kancey, Darius Rush, Parker Washington, Israel Abanikanda, obviously addressing both sides of the ball. What do we do here with the 170th overall pick?
So
any particular
corner,
position?
We got a receiver. We got a linebacker.
There's some offensive line that McClendon, Curtis.
Seambridge is another guy that I kind of like.
We love what we saw from Curtis at the Senior Bowl. Time after time, because guys making that jump up to the next level, you never know how they're going to do it from Chattanooga, and he impressed time after time against top-notch seniors.
He really did, and he did the work in the team drill specifically is where I think he flourished for sure.
I mean, you don't have to pull my leg. Let's go McClendon.
That is your guy.
And it's the future, man. You pull Tyler Smith to the tackle. He showed that he could play tackle, and you put Curtis in there. Smith, we could play it for a year and move on from him.
Well, Tyron Smith, like I said, his contract is expired.
1 year left. Yes, 1 year left.
Yeah. So it's about $18 million that are going to be freed up. Again, we're looking at the CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs extensions with respect to that. So it makes perfect sense to kind of get a jump on what that offensive line is going to look like a year from now. And again, you guys mentioned it. McClendon Curtis did more than hold his own. Of course, his former teammate Cole Strange goes in the first round a season ago from Chattanooga. So somebody's coaching up these offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back on the clock at 176. We have 3 selections remaining: Drew Sanders, Kalijah Kancey, Darius Rush, Parker Washington, Israel Abanikanda, McClendon Curtis. Of course, you're losing Connor McGovern, who was kind of swing interior offensive lineman. So good selection there at 170. What do we do at 176?
Can you look at safety? Just want to take a peek. What's there?
We do need a kicker.
Oh, is my guy there from was that the Senior Bowl? He's gone. I don't know why I'm asking. Let me stop, bro. He's gone.
Jay Ward. Jay Ward's an interesting player.
Moment of truth. We're struggling with the moment of truth.
It's pick 176, man.
So he got a lot of upside. He got a lot of upside.
He do got a lot of upside. I like him in the box coming downhill.
KJ Henry. You wanna?
Why is he still there, bro? They must.
They hating on Henry.
I love Nick Hampton, by the way. Baller
Jared Clark, Cobra Redmond, Cameron Young, Trey Palmer's out there. Charlie Jones, Rakeem Jarrett, Puka, Nakua, Payne Durham. I think we're straight at tight end.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like Trey Palmer, but also like who we just mentioned before that. What position was that?
KJ Henry.
No, not KJ Henry. Was it safety? Jay Ward. Jay Ward.
Yeah.
Jay Ward.
Go with the upside. Yeah, all right. You talked me into it, bro. Because the thing he does very, very well is play in the box. He's a extremely willing tackler. He just has to be coming downhill, short to intermediate game. We one of Headley's biggest things with him was, what does he look like when the ball's in the air and he's down the field? And at the Senior Bowl, he was falling. He wasn't getting his head around. It wasn't good, but maybe that's something he can work on. But in the meantime, we can bring him down in the box. So we talk about the safety was the leading tackle on the team. That was Donovan Wilson, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I believe Jay Ward's a good tackler.
Yeah, and he can play a similar role to that or that of Jaron Kearse, right? And beyond 2023, not sure exactly what that safety position looks like. Kearse and Hooker are your penciled in as your starters. But I think at this juncture, this point in the draft, Jay Ward offers some good value. You know what I'm saying? And position flexibility, the way you can match up and do different things. And like you said, he had his struggles at the Senior Bowl, but if you look at his film, he's a better player in coverage. He's played some boundary corner. You know what I mean? You know, there's a little weakness in like I said, you mentioned it, Drew, the moment of truth, but certainly plenty of upside here. So I like the selection of Jay Ward, 176, and so does NFL Mock Draft Database, A+ on that pick. All right, we got two more selections, 212 and 246. To this point, we've bolstered the secondary with the aforementioned Jay Ward along with Darius Rush in the third round. Our first three selections were all on the defensive side of the ball. We've addressed each level of the defense with those three picks: Sanders, Cansey, and I mentioned Rush, followed by Parker Washington, Israel Abanikanda, two explosive offensive playmakers. We got some depth and perhaps our long-term starter at left guard in McClendon Curtis. And then again, Jay Ward, the flexibility he offers, the depth. Of course, he can come in and play special teams right away. I think that was a good selection. All right. So we're back on the clock here at 212. And, you know, a lot of this at this juncture is best player available, right? We're looking for athletes. We're looking for the sparky guys. So which direction do you guys want to go in here? Mingo.
I see a Mingo.
I like a Mingo.
I also see
McClendon. Diaby. Seam Richards. Isaiah Land.
He showed something in that Senior Bowl game, and the versatility to play off the ball linebacker and rush the quarterback.
Aubrey Miller.
That's more Legos. That's a banger right there. So if we moving on from Van Der Esch after this season or next season, I think Aubrey Miller could play that role perfectly.
So you saying Aubrey and Drew Sanders?
I was impressed by Darrell Luter at the Senior Bowl. I thought he played well. Thought, you know, he showed good patience at the line of scrimmage, good technique. Usually was in the hip pocket challenge. So was impressed by him. We do need the specialists. We do need a specialist because we didn't address the kicker position in free agency.
We didn't.
We can say that for the last pick.
Bro, this is a very important phase of the game, man.
I know.
Very important phase of the game.
So they ain't trying to give up players, current players that aren't specialists on the board, bro.
So, Headley, you said that, you know, we could say this for the last pick. Who are you eyeing? Who do you feel like?
Miller.
Aubrey Miller?
I like Aubrey Miller.
Okay, so
prove that second level.
Where that puts us as far as the linebacking room would be Damon Clark, Leighton Van Der Esch. Again, we may move off of him after this season. Micah Parsons, of course, he moonlights. We've already addressed the Drew Sanders selection and Jabril Cox, who hasn't done much. Expected more from him. He had an injury, but he just hasn't been able to get on the field. So certainly the room is bolstered, but you really like that upside of Aubrey Miller. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I also like Mingo, also another receiver. We're moving on from Noah Brown, T.Y. Hilton. I know we got C.D. Lamb and Gallup, and then we also drafted Parker Washington. But more receivers in that room wouldn't be a bad idea for Dak Prescott.
More competition. Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Gotta make a decision.
I'm down for Jonathan Mingo. You got Jacorian Bennett. Fast out there corner. But let's go in the receiver room, man. Let's add to the receiver room.
Let's do it.
More competition there.
Jonathan Mingo, it is. Really impressive week at the Senior Bowl. Got better every day.
He wins at the top of the route with physicality, man.
Yeah, he does.
He just does it a little bit different, but he creates that separation.
All right. So to this point, Drew Sanders, Kalijah Cansey, Darius Rush, Parker Washington, Israel Abanikanda, McClendon Curtis, Jay Ward, Jonathan Mingo, and we have one more selection. I like what we've done thus far. I like what we've done thus far. I think we've not only addressed needs, but we've added explosiveness. We've added depth. You know, this was a really good all around effort, and we didn't really have to manipulate the draft board as things fell. So. Great job here. One last pick. Let's take a look at the specialist. Jake Moody is there. Aubrey Miller is there too.
We got our guy Jeremy Banks out there too. We like him from Tennessee.
Yeah. You say we need that kicker, man. That third phase, Brett Maher. They couldn't kick extra points last season, man. So we need a guy that can make some extra points.
That man had the yips.
Staring at Aubrey Miller, Jake Moody. Of course, we don't have a kicker. We're compelled. Otherwise, probably would go with Aubrey Miller here. Jake Moody is the selection.
Yeah, great class. I think we, filled a lot of needs: the linebacker need, the corner need, the wide receiver need. I think Israel Abikonda, I think he's a sleeper this draft class. He could come in, like Drew says, he could carry the load. Wait for Tony Pollard if necessary.
Yeah, and I think it should be stated that Abikonda, he offers something in the passing game as well. You know what I mean? He has good hands out of the backfield. So again, only going to be 20 years old, can hit his head on the goalpost. And we're not ruling out Tony Pollard. After the post-June 1 cut of Ezekiel Elliott, absolutely have some flexibility after the restructuring of Dak Prescott's contract. So again, Drew Sanders, Kalijah Cansey at the top, followed by Darius Rush, Parker Washington, Israel Abanikanda, McClendon Curtis, Jay Ward, Jonathan Mingo, and Jake Moody.